Mysterious Miraculii, loving you with the passion of heaven. Here to remind you of who you really are. Take a deep, full breath and breathe in the all-dimensionality of who you are. In fifth dimension, sixth dimension, seventh dimension, eighth dimension, ninth dimension, 10th dimension, 11th dimension, 12th dimension. As we align in divine awareness with our 1st through 12th chakras, our feet, 12 strands of DNA, which are infinite, eternal, omnipresent, all-dimensional, omnipotent, omniscient. And we lay our 1st through 12th chakras, our feet, and 12 strands of DNA upon the altar of the Most High. And we receive from the Most High onto our 1st through 12th chakras, our feet, and 12 strands of DNA. The blessing, the anointing, the baptism, and the quickening. Our 1st through 12th chakras, feet, and 12 strands of DNA are clear, activated, and eternally expanding in ascension through the 5th dimension and beyond. Breathe in the resonance of your 5th dimensional and beyond beingness. All the versions of you that is transcendent above and beyond every trial and tribulation, every difficulty, in divine alignment with a version of you that knows it is wise not to despise it. You're going to use that dung to fertilize it. But life's greatest connoisseur gets the best crops from the best manure. It's fertilizer. Make that shit doodle serving unto you. You are powerful. You are the resonance of the divine. Feel the resonance of this tone, which is an affirmation, a sonic affirmation of the greater exaltation of who and what you really are. Mountain heights of heaven's land, you invoke the master plan. It's your divine birthright, and you're giving back your cosmic sight. At dawn of life, you were so high, with the angels you did fly. And you now ascend to the higher plane, and the ancient times come again. 'Tis in the name of holy peace that all your blessings now increase. Your great abundance now comply with power of your single eye. You bless the darkness, make it right, reverse the tide and free the light. God, make your power ever pure, else let the power not endure. You love and lift your fellow man and the woman, and you understand the master plan. For you there's simply nothing new, except that which you always knew. First I spin at speed of light, within, without, come now your sight. Mighty Spirit, Elohim, make truth of this your cosmic dream. Yeah, your eye is really single with light. Your body does now tingle. Oh, your soul is so brand new. You now know all that you once knew. First I spin at speed of light, within, without, come now your sight. Mighty Spirit, Elohim, make truth of this your cosmic dream. Yeah, your eye is really single with light. Your body does now tingle. Your soul, so brand new. You now know all that you once knew. You now know all that you once knew. Trust and forgiveness, the sacred twins. Trust brought you to this earth. To heaven, forgiveness of sins. The rage of resentment blocks the lessons you must learn, and the darkest of relationships then constantly return. The weapon of distrust breeds the horrors of your pain, and distrustful one will come to you until you trust again. Forgiveness is the master key, opening the cage to set you free from distrust, misery, pain, and strife from those you feel have wrecked your life. Who can do a thing to you that you yourself did not create? Will you place blame outside yourself, or was it you who wove your fate? The past you reap, the future you sow, the present collects the debts you owe. If you had not the need, there would be no dirty deed. Much wisdom to be gained from the center of your pain. Forgiveness is a must, for it teaches you to trust. Suspicion is a hungry beast that rips away your inner peace. Let go now of past resentment toward fallen love of yesterday. If not, your past repeats itself and steals the joy of this great day. If you don't forgive the past, you can't trust the present. You then attract a future untrustworthy and unpleasant. Blessing the darkness, making it right, reversing the tide and freeing the light. Let go now of past resentment toward fallen love of yesterday. If not, your past repeats itself and steals the joy of this great day. You don't forgive the past, you can't trust the present, and you then attract a future untrustworthy and unpleasant. Forgiving the past, trusting the present, making the future sweet and pleasant, blessing the darkness, making it right, reversing the tide, and freeing the light. Sometimes there's a feeling that forgiveness is hard. It's only hard when you walk in a sense of separation. Every being that is powerful in their forgiving capacity is your own self by extension. When you see those that are champion forgivers, take it personally. Personalize it. Any exaltation that you see within life, take it personally. Personalize it. When you see someone flying as high as you'd like to fly, let every cell within your being say, oh my God, look at how high I'm flying through that part of me. Own the exaltation. For there is only one life in which we all share. And only one love through which we all care, only one being in all that we're seeing, a slumbering giant, is what we are freeing. When one is at peace, what a mighty release of breath unto life, that all may increase. Anyone's joy is everyone's right. The wise one's wisdom is the blind one's sight. There's only me in all that I see. The joining of life is what makes me free. And those who achieve in abundance receive is that part of me in whom I believe. When I am a winner, I honor all life. When I am a loser, all life shares my strife. Before life on this earth and my physical birth, I danced with the angels and knew my true worth. Yet all that I was, I really still am. The God out of heaven, an innocent lamb. If I want to know who I truly be, seek all that there is, and I will find me. I invoke, decree, and dream awake the full cellular ascension of my being, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, in this now, with the full support of God, Goddess, the ascended master realm to include our ascended master self, Father Saint Germain, Sananda, the Holy Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Goddess of Mercy, Archangel Michael, and the legions, Ashtar and the entire command, Babaji, Raphael, Gabriel, clan of the trumpet angels, aboriginal and tribal shaman, goddesses of fortune, angels of light, Elohim, clan of the serpents, Shiva, all Christ frequencies, all animal totems, elementals of fire, air, water, and earth, all divine beings of light, love, and ascension, named and unnamed, to activate the cells within my being who are your counterparts. With the unified power of the one, I decree my highest good always operating in this now. I decree grace and mercy always operating in this now. I invoke, decree, and dream awake the full truth and reality of ascension in this now. I invoke and dream awake with every breath that I breathe the violet fire transmuting my whole being. I invoke and dream awake the full current of ascension in every cell of my being. I am ascended. I invoke and dream awake expanded God consciousness fully realized in me as unlimited abundance fulfilling my every need and desire. I invoke and dream awake the ending of procrastination, tiredness, blockages, obstacles, and unhealthy belief systems. I decree immediate abundance in my life. I invoke and dream awake my liberation from all karmic debt. I am infinite opulence. I invoke and dream awake my personal empowerment in every instant that anyone is impacted by my being and creations. I invoke and dream awake the infinite empowerment of my sexual, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and financial relationship with life. I invoke and dream awake sacred sexuality, erotic innocence, and always express the sacredness of sexual force for pleasure, creativity, and healing. I invoke and dream awake world universal healing from all sexual woundedness and shame. I invoke and dream awake worldwide release of all manipulating forces and beings who would control humanity, past, present, and future. I invoke the angels and ascended masters to realign and heal all misused energy, to include the full restructuring of our DNA. I invoke and dream awake the transmutation of all negative and judgmental projections. I invoke and dream awake my constant ability to be centered and balanced in my psychic perceptions and empathic nature. All adverse psychic energies are released by me automatically, easily, effortlessly. I am empowered by everything. I invoke and dream awake my lucid dreaming each night I sleep and total remembering when I awake. I invoke and dream awake my infinite harmony with God, Goddess I am. I invoke and dream awake the full expression of my miraculous healing power. My life is a continuous stream of miracles. I invoke and dream awake my infinite ability and willingness to receive all life's blessings. I invoke and dream awake a constant attitude of gratitude for my whole life, all my accomplishments and blessings, including the same for the universe at large. I invoke and dream awake the full blessings of God, Goddess, the ascended masters, angels, guides, and beings of light to bless this earth. I invoke and dream awake all my decrees, invocations, and prayers I have released to the universe and open myself to God's response, support, and love in my highest good. I invoke and dream awake the release of all past, present, and future lifetimes of decrees and vows which would bind me to limitation, lack, density, and anything not of ascension in this now. I invoke and dream awake the full reclaiming of my eternal self as powerful, loving, and fully aligned in abundant God consciousness. I invoke and dream awake the total dissolving of all manipulating forces which would bind this earth plane in fear. I invoke and dream awake the influence of the ascended master realm and angels to intercede and raise the vibrations higher, to bring darkness into the light, raising the frequency of love and God consciousness on planet Earth in this now. I invoke and dream awake the ascension of my soul, your soul, and planet Earth in this now. And that is spirit wrap. And all of what you've heard are selections from my book, Miraculii, Song of Ascension. I have books in my car. You could probably talk me into getting you one if you're really feeling it. I'm also in celebration of my birth on yesterday, January 26th. I made it to 73 turns around the sun. And I'm still a sacred whippersnapper. And also my spiritual birthday I'm celebrating, which was on the 23rd of January. I came onto my spiritual path 51 years ago from the 23rd of January. Came on my path passionately and deliberately. I was living in Chicago at that time, and I had 6 years of insanity from age 16 to right about 22. At age 16, Mama threw me out of the house, took to the streets, lived on the streets for about 3 years before I learned how to take care of myself. And even at 19, when I learned how to take care of myself, I was still a dishonest student in the University of Life's other side of the fence. All my role models were pimps and hoes and gangsters and thieves and con men and con women. And I was a part of that treachery. But the Most High was kind enough to take care of me, to preserve and protect my sacred ass until I could reach January the 23rd of 1973. The light came on. You know, my rent was due. I didn't have the rent. It was only $80 for a little room I had. I had $30 to my name. I was so broke because I would no longer do the things that I used to do to make money. And all of the ways that I had made my money, you know, was, like I said, I was a dishonest student in the University of Life's other side of the fence. So you know all the stuff I was up to. Thank God the Creator took care of me. And so on that day, January 23rd, 1973, well, I don't have my rent, but I got $30. And I'd had an astrological reading, and in that reading, it kept saying I would benefit from an investigation of metaphysics and the occult and New Age philosophy. I remember there was an occult bookstore near Northside, Chicago. So I jumped on the bus, didn't have a car, and I went down there with my $30. And I spent $25 on books. And I came home and I read from 3 in the afternoon to 5 the next morning. Never been the same since. And that was 51 years ago from the 23rd on Tuesday. So I'm in celebration of that. So grateful for what I was able to get through. I could have been murdered. I mean, many of my friends murdered on the corner. I lived in a treacherous neighborhood. Many of my friends, they drive by and just shoot into the crowd, murdered on the corner. I mean, I saw that, you know, people drug overdose, dead in the hallway, needle still in their arm. A lot of treachery. But I made my way through that. And even when I look at all of that treachery, what I really celebrate is that who we are is eternal resonance. We are microcosmic expressions of God. And no matter what craziness we get ourselves into, that craziness will never outdistance us, because we are eternal and all of the craziness will pass. So I'm grateful for that, for me and for you. Just had to share that little story with you, and also to just have you be my witnesses. I just acknowledge myself. Many people don't acknowledge themselves on their birthday. And I just want you to hold space for me while I say, I'm so happy I was born. I'm so happy I heard the call of the Most High and took up the torch of spirituality to do the things that I could do to make life better, to make my beloveds better. I'm so grateful for even the tiniest little accomplishments that I make. See, even when I accomplish something really small, I get my magnifying glass out and I'll maximize the minimum. Because I've learned that when I maximize the minimum becomes the maximum. So I invite you to maximize the minimum. I'm going to bring you some didgeridoo in just a minute, but I want you to take this one and put it right down into the core of your heart. Whatever you achieve in life, don't belittle your accomplishments. Celebrate them. And if they seem small, then you look large. Because we make small things great by looking large. Just like the cup, is it half empty or is it half full? Well, if you see the cup is half empty, now you're minimizing the maximum. And the maximum is going to become the minimum. Because when you see the cup as half empty, it's in the potential of emptying. When you see the cup as half full, it's in the potential of filling. That's maximizing the minimum. Maximize the minimum, minimum becomes the maximum. That's why no accomplishment need ever be seen as being small. Look larger. And lastly, when it comes to life purpose, stop measuring life purpose by your doing, achieving, and creating. See, life purpose, the root of life purpose is not doing, is not creating, it's not achieving. The root of life purpose is being. And you already got that covered. I know it's true. I'm looking at you, sitting inside of your own existence, living and moving and having your being. There is no greater accomplishment ever than your existence. And you don't have to do anything to earn your existence. Your being and your existence is eternally given. So own that. No more renting with option to buy. You own this thing called you. And the divine resonance that you are.